Hello and welcome back to CrestVahllen D&D, the Argent Flame. This is the Burnt Ends, where we talk about episodes 26 to 28. We just leveled up. Everybody leveled up to level 7. So first thing we're going to do here is roll some hit dice. We're going to talk about some level up stuff and whatever. We'll see what happens. Great. Who wants to go first? Do you want to roll hit dice? And do you want to roll it, or do you want to take the average?
You want to just go around the table?
I always roll.
All right, Adam, Gizmo, are you taking another level in Artificer?
Yes.
Ooh, I heard some hesitation there.
There is.
Ooh. What are you thinking?
Our group, at the moment, doesn't have like an actual fighting member at the moment.
Oh, okay.
We're all
taking some fighter levels.
Spellcasters.
Sofka
in wild shape is about our only tank.
Yeah, she's a tank. And I can also get up close too.
And yeah,
which is
you're
weird,
like impossible to hit.
Weird.
Like
I'm done.
having a
So I've thought about taking
with it.
fighter levels because Battlesmith is also sort of supposed to be a...
Right, you're supposed to be in the fray and hit stuff. Yeah. You have spells as support.
So if I'm going to do it, essentially now is sort of the time. But I really like the 7th level ability that Artificer.
I would say if it means anything as well, having somebody, as far as roleplay wise, teach you some fighter capabilities would also make a lot of sense story wise.
Yeah.
But go with your gut. I would, as the storyteller or as a storyteller.
With as many fights as we've been in,
Yeah.
I could pick up a first level of fighter.
Sure. Yeah, I'd say so. You would
Just based
you
on...
get your second wind in your fighting style rather than
Right.
your axe and surge.
Right.
That's more something to be like someone's got to train you.
Right. But I think I'm going to stick with Artificer.
Okay. And that is a D8, if I'm not
It
mistaken.
is. Yep.
Okay. Are you going to roll it, or are you going to take the average?
Rolling.
Okay. Go ahead.
7.
7. Hey, that's pretty good. All right.
Chunky.
Add your con modifier, increase your health by that much. What's the ability you get at 7th level?
Flash of Genius.
Okay.
Intelligence modifier number of times per day, which is 5.
Mhm.
I can add that modifier to anyone's saving throw or skill check
In battle, as a reaction?
at any time. It's not even a reaction. It's just something I can do.
It doesn't cost any action economy?
Let me double check. Yes, sorry, reaction.
Reaction. That makes sense, because doing it multiple times on the same turn.
you get a 5, and you get a 5, and you get a 5.
Dragon breath. Everybody gets 5.
When you or another creature within 30 feet of you makes an ability check or saving throw,
Very
use your reaction to add your intelligence roll.
It's like a
Like
Bardic inspiration a little bit.
or like a paladin's aura.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's within 30 feet too.
Within 30
so
feet.
it's like a targeted paladin's aura. That's
Essentially,
Well,
like
30 feet is what I have for my
I see what they need to
that's
do.
why-
I see what they need to do to succeed.
cool.
With
But his
just
is
like
posthumous. Yours is
Yep.
prepared. Yeah.
Exactly.
as like a flash of genius, I see what they need to do to succeed, and I can tell them to do that.
Right. Duck. Or yeah, like rotate your Achilles tendon 90 degrees. That's pretty cool. Awesome.
Oh, drink that water.
That's it.
My warding fingers.
I get an extra 2nd level spell slot,
Cool.
which is
I mean, it's something.
help.
It's another Misty step.
I don't have Misty Step.
Oh,
I'm an artificer.
well, there's a bunch of other really cool 2nd level spells out there. There's another Charm Person. There's another bunch 2nd level
Nope.
Cure Wounds. You don't have Charm Person?
No, not charm
Oh.
person.
What are the spells that you get for your subclass? That are
Warding Bond, which I just made the rings for.
right.
What was the other one? The Branding Smite that I get.
Oh, cool.
Oh, right. Yeah.
That was also Battlesmith.
Cool. All right. Who's next?
I'll go next.
Okay. Cool. What level and what class are you taking?
I am going to move up to 6th level as a College of Lore Bard.
Got it. So believe that's when you get your magical secrets.
Yeah, I get my first magical secret.
Cool. So we'll talk about what spells you're going to choose here. You rolling or are you?
Yeah, I'm going to roll.
Okay. It's a D8, right?
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Nice chunky people. That all that festival food.
Mm-hmm. The turkey legs were extra big.
And I do know one of the spells I'm taking for magical secrets
Okay.
now.
What is it?
Counterspell.
Perfect.
Always good.
Well, gotta have that counterspell.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yes, and as because you're multi-classing, you don't get access to 4th level spells
No.
yet because of Bard is. But you can still upcast levels, which means that because you have your 4th level spell
Yes.
slot now, you can
Like
still
that.
cast counterspell at a 4th level,
Yep.
which is helpful. Anything else, or is it just magical secrets, right?
I also got my counter charm.
Oh, your counter charm, right?
What
So
is
as long as
that?
you continue
So
playing a song,
I,
you can't
yeah,
be
so
charged.
I have to use my action to do this every round, so I can't do anything else. But if I know that you guys might be charmed by something, you can do this. It gives you advantage on your saving throw checks.
Oh,
for it.
nice. That's good.
As long as he continues playing it, it's stopped. But as soon as he stops,
Singing, yeah, and I have to be doing it. Like I can't do it after you're charmed. I have to be doing it.
right, it's a
before it
preventative
happens.
measure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of my stuff is preventative measures. I'm noticing.
Okay,
All
Argus,
right.
what about you?
I'm taking my other cleric level.
Okay, is that a D10 then for you?
It's 8.
8? Okay.
I rolled a 6 plus 3 in my con plus 1 for my hill.
Yeah!
Hildorf.
Kill dwarf. Awesome.
Hell yeah.
10 more hit points. For
What
me.
is you get your 4th level spell
I get
slot?
my 4th level spells, and as a cleric of the light, I get firewall.
Ooh.
We have nice.
And guardian of the faith.
So wall of fire.
Wall of fire,
Yeah,
sorry.
wall of fire. That's a pretty dope spell.
Yeah, wall of fires.
So your deity's all pouty, but he's like, fine, but take this.
Fine, but use that flame.
Yeah, use it again.
Right.
Burn a different house down.
Yes, sir.
Great. You just get your additional spells, or is there something else?
Nope,
I thought
just
that was an
spells.
ability. Oh, you have a little line there.
Yep, I get spells.
Cool.
And whenever I do any with cleric, whenever you get a new spell, you don't get anything else. It's whenever we get that next spell level.
Okay, cool.
That's all I get.
Is that like that with most of the? No, because
Spells,
Mo-
like full
Full.
spellcasters, wizards are the same way.
Right, but artificers, when you get your new spells, you also get other stuff too.
Yeah, but I'm half caster.
Right.
I only get a new
Right.
spell level every 4 levels.
Right. Okay. What about you, Trisheni?
I'm gonna keep going wizard and
Okay.
I'll roll.
Roll that d6.
Come on. Fuck me.
Well, you gotta re-roll that.
You get
That's
to
a
reroll once.
It's average. 3 on the die.
3. That's not
so
bad.
yeah. Plus my con, which is a 2. So 5 more hit points.
That's not bad for a wizard. 5 more hit points.
Oh. You know.
Have you decided on what spells you're picking as you level up as a wizard?
No, you know me.
course
I'm
you
gonna
do.
take the next 2 weeks, make it 3.
You know what I'm gonna give
Think
you?
about
I'm
it.
gonna give you an assignment. By the time I come back around the table to you, I'd like you to have an idea as to what spell you have to pick.
That's not fair.
Someone else did it.
It's not a guarantee.
Well,
It's so good. There's
that's because
so
that's the
many
spell I was going to take
things.
last level if I didn't become a sorcerer. So
Yeah.
If
I mean,
you can, I'm not gonna
okay.
press you too
Look,
much.
I
It'd be
mean,
great.
polymorph is always a good idea.
Awesome. One of the best 4th level spells. There's a lot of amazing 4th level spells out there too. I believe some of the Strixhaven spells are 4th level. What is it? Something like Wither and Bloom is the second.
There's
one.
fire
Yeah.
shield, which also sounds interesting. Gravity sinkhole, greater invisibility always sounds
yes,
good.
greater visibility.
You know, so there's lots of things, lots of cool
There's
things.
some things that we could have used, like now I have access to stone shape.
Blight.
You mean I can't shape stone with my stone shape?
with my stone shape.
Banishment.
That's mold earth.
Banishment is
Oh, I get
amazing.
freedom of movement.
Banishment is really
I do
good.
have
Yeah.
banishment.
Dimension Door.
Yeah. So that's why it's going to take
Greater
a little bit
invisibility.
to
You
think
don't
about it.
need to take banishment because
Mordenkainen's
Okay.
Private Sanctum.
unless you want to for your class and what your wizard does, banishment makes sense.
Makes a
Right,
lot of
because we'd be like, you go over to that plane or that
Or
world.
get a lot
that-
of summon
One
spells.
of the creatures follows you out,
yeah, like
and you
fuck
can just
you.
send it back.
Yeah, exactly.
And if
But-
you maintain concentration, it stays there.
If you
Yeah.
maintain concentration for the full minute,
And it
anything from
belongs at a
another
different plane.
Which is why
stays
you
in
can't
that plane.
banish yourself back to a
You
dimension.
also get a lot of summons, like summon aberration, construct,
Yep.
elemental, greater demon.
Yeah, this is why it's gonna be.
Who's ready for some divination?
Oh yeah, you get divination.
Ooh.
Yeah. Don't forget that if you do succeed If you cast it and you cast
You
it
have a
again,
25% chance.
yeah, I could just straight up lie to
I
you
don't know how they
if I want to. So you'll never know. You'll never know if I'm telling the truth or
Well,
not.
I wouldn't plan on using it more than once. Ooh, I can teach it to lock.
A scoop plans on using it all the fucking time.
Well, yeah.
I'm gonna ritually cast the shit out of it.
Well, he asked if I was a foe in one of the things that you guys did, and I was like, dude,
No.
It's because he worships a god of water
I
and you
know.
worship god of fire, so he's like,
I'm like,
Great.
I'm not your enemy.
Yeah.
Also, your spell doesn't have to be a 4th level spell. It could be something else.
I know.
But one of them probably should be a 4th level.
Yeah, I mean, at least one of
Don't
the
you
two.
have some spell scrolls that are 4th level?
Yes.
I do. So, I mean, over the next couple days, Trishani's basically going to be buying paper, and yep,
Awesome.
yep. That's why tonight was.
And
the
we're in a
night.
nice town for that.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
All
we
right,
are.
Log, what are you doing? What are you taking a level warlock or something else?
No, there was a time I was thinking of doing fighter, but I need my charisma score ASI, which means I got to keep going warlock for a little bit longer. So I'm gonna do that. So yeah, another warlock.
That's a D8, right?
Yep.
A lot of D8s all around the table.
I know, and there's been some good rolls, which makes me worried.
Come on, Cody.
Well, I took up one of them, so you
You
can.
could always take the average if you want.
Because I mean, the payoff is so much better if I do roll well. Yeah, that's a 1, so I got to redo
Okay.
it. 8.
Yeah!
2 8s and a 7. Amazing, guys.
Cons +1, so 9.
Nice. All right, 9. What do you get at level 6?
Or level
7.
7.
7, that's right.
So I get one more spell, no more slots still, but just one more 4th level spell, and I get another invocation.
Ooh, you get to choose another
Ooh.
Eldritch Invocation. Do you know which one you're going to choose?
I do. I'm going to take Eldritch Mind.
Eldritch Mind.
Warcaster, essentially.
Right. So
Oh, yeah?
it gives me advantage on con saves that I make to maintain concentration on the spell.
Hell yeah.
Awesome. That's it? That's all? That's the thing?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
super powerful.
But I mean, that's
It's like
awesome.
Warcraft.
Well, I mean, because like almost all my good spells
Without the-
concentration spells.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Why is it
It's great for the darkness, the silence.
I mean, yeah, the summon undead. I mean, anything that's concentration
HP.
that helps with. And then like I said, one more
Did you add that?
a 4th level spell,
Yeah, dude.
or everything goes up to 4th.
Right.
If you're doing it in D&D Beyond, it's better to just manually input the total.
Yeah, that's what I'm finding
You
right
have
now.
to.
Yeah.
You have to do like its manual override.
It's a bit of a
or
pain,
something
but
like
you
that.
just got to do manual override.
Back at the settings,
That's
you have
awesome.
to make sure
That's
you
great.
set manual HP.
No, I
I
did.
thought there was another one that you were
It's just
looking
not
at too.
doing it correctly right
Well,
now.
there are
I was
a
at
few.
50, I rolled an 8. It's
only
like,
aspect of the
your total hit
moon,
points 58.
So
I'm
you don't
like,
have to sleep.
No, my.
You know, I thought about that, especially given
61.
the new situation that I'm in.
Can you swap out your invocations at
I
level
can.
ups? Okay.
I let him, whenever he levels up, swap
Cool.
him out if he wants to.
So I could take aspects of the moon so that I don't ever have to sleep. Which then, but the thing is, sometimes we get good stuff when I
Yeah.
sleep.
Right.
It is
So-
fun. It's like wild magic. You got to roll the dice. You know, it's kind of fun.
Yeah, it is.
I know Adam's over here be like,
That's true.
I want to know exactly what I
The
get.
goods are kind of good if we're awake to take advantage of.
The bads aren't
Right.
that terrible.
The bat.
You just
Burned down! It's on fire!
if you just fucking put it out, it would be a problem.
Just put out a fire.
6th level heroes, a little fire is a big problem. Okay, guys.
When it goes against your religion, might be a bit.
Not my problem. Not my problem.
And to stare at it and be like, I literally just had this conversation.
Karmic destiny.
I said I would do it. I said I would do it.
There's some really cool Eldritch ones. I'm just taking a look at these cool.
Yeah, it's definitely difficult to pick sometimes.
Yeah, it's definitely.
Oh, yeah.
I had fun with Guardian of
Mire of the Mind, you can cast slow once using a Lorelec spell class. You can't do it again until you.
That's the thing, but some of the ones that require me to use a spell slot, it's like I've only got 2.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
it's like
No,
I can't bring myself to
Yeah, it should be without using a spell.
I can do that whenever.
Okay,
Then you?
cool.
I can swap out my spells daily.
Right.
All right. So for those that prepare, you don't know, prepare your spells. You don't need to worry about it.
I get this.
Cool. You said you're going to choose counter spell as one of your spells.
That's one of my magical secrets. I'm not sure
How
I'm
many?
gonna get the rest
How
of
many
it
do you
right
get?
now. I get 2 magical secrets.
So you're choosing the wizard's
It's
class.
just too many.
You have to choose one class for to get those spells from, I believe.
No, it's any class.
Is it any class? I
Yeah.
thought it was any one class.
No, it's any class. I
could be wrong.
This is why we have books.
Here it is.
Secrets. Spell you must choose. You can cast. As shown on the.
Do you have agonizing blast?
Not yet. I'm going to wait until
Choose
next
spells you could
invocation
try.
I get, because then I'll be closer to the ASI.
From any class.
spells.
or,
Yeah.
or I'll
From-
have the ASI, and then
Yeah,
soon I'll
sure.
have.
That's a good question.
Because right now,
Yeah, choose 2
if I hit
spells from any
both,
class,
it's only
including
plus
this one.
4 damage, and so yeah. So once I get the ability score improvement,
It'll make a difference.
Yeah. If we're trying to find something.
Yeah.
A few new auras. I don't know if I really want to go with. Preparing it all.
Monster.
Yeah. I'm literally
You
going
know,
to.
something
Oh,
probably
yeah.
Apparently
Apparently you can. You can choose.
I want to do.
From any.
Yeah.
I'm getting
It's
rid.
tough.
You can choose from
I'm getting
multiple
rid of
class lists,
Yeah.
class spell lists, if you like. I was not aware of that. Usually, it's
Any spell
Only
from
one.
any class list.
that's the only ability that lets you choose from multiple classes,
Yeah.
because there's a lot of abilities that hey, choose one class.
Yeah.
Like
Choose from a
And it's because
single
it's
class.
a bard. You're a jack of all trades. You
Yeah,
should kind of be able to do that sort of
Pick
thing.
and choose
so.
from wherever you want.
great, cool. Which means you could take a warlock, because wizards the obvious first choice, because wizards have access to the most spells, and then warlock has the most. So warlocks and druids have the most exclusive spells that wizards don't have access to.
Right.
So warlock or druid would be the other obvious / best choice if you want to go that route, but you could obviously choose whatever you like.
But we have a warlock and a druid, so that's also kind of.
Yeah.
And
Also have a wizard.
Yeah.
I mean,
We have all of our bases.
I mean, there's.
That's what I was saying about fighter earlier.
just the martial.
Like,
We don't have marshals.
as far as every other class, we're pretty much covered. It's just we don't have a martial class, don't have monk, don't have a fighter, don't have a rogue, don't.
Well,
have
and we've had them, and they've all had to disappear.
Oh yeah. Well, life happens, and that's
It
okay.
does.
And they're off doing their cool things in the world,
Yeah.
and maybe we'll see them again.
Right.
So, Trisheni, do you have any inklings on what spells you might like to pick? Any ideas?
I told you polymorph is always a good one,
Yeah,
but
polymorph
banishment's
is really
always a good one. I'm interested. Shuttle on Stride
Ooh.
is kind
Oh
of
yeah, for you because you move so fast.
yeah, would be really awesome, and goes with the flame thing. So even though it's not a 4th level, would be
You can
kind of
pick
fun.
yeah.
But
If I was thinking like RP for you, like Dimension Door and Banishment really flop out to me.
Yeah, I mean-
just because like
I do work.
gravity sinkhole too.
gravity sinkhole and
I
just all that
know.
teleportation and changing things. Granted, you know what happens when you do stuff like that too,
I know, I
but
have to
it's
fix
so
it.
much fun.
Yeah.
Great.
So
Phantasmal Killer is also a 4th level spell,
yeah,
which isn't exactly to your character, but it's a really good 4th level spell.
It is. It's a very powerful. 120 feet range too, which is amazing.
You make them see their own nightmare, and it can do up to like 4d10 psychic damage
I mean,
to
Because
them.
they
No,
believe
that's
they're
actually-
actually taking damage from their.
So it
that
could
actually
fit.
could go because
yeah. And you can upcast it too.
because that is psychic damage and kind of thinking about the horrors and the parallel dimensions.
You also
that's
frighten
there.
them too.
Right.
Yeah, that could be pretty fun. See, this is what I'm talking about. Next
But
couple weeks.
it's a high level spell that's save or nothing. So
Yeah.
Yep. Noelle, when she played a druid, was all like, "I want to prepare as many spells as possible," and she would multi-class and do whatever it is so she
Well,
could
I only
prepare
multi-classed at the very end of
Yeah.
when we stopped playing, but
But-
at that point I had like
39
39
spells you could prepare.
every day. It
Absolutely.
was great. It was great.
I mean, there's a borrow knowledge.
But you're counting the ones that you had from your circle of the land.
Exactly. And then I got some extra ones from a magical item we had and stuff
Right.
like that. So
Which is still insane. 39 spells.
it was wonderful.
Absolutely absurd.
It was like
It's like Morgan Price is what you should ever be able to.
old man Max is snoring back here.
no, that's not Max. That's
It's
the
not?
that's the 9-month-old puppy here
Put borrow knowledge
on my lap.
spells.
Okay.
Great.
Cool.
Cool. Anything about the episodes? You guys still want to talk about level ups?
Where do you want to start?
I wasn't there, so I couldn't say a whole lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What would you have said if you were there?
First of all,
Besides obscenities.
Right.
This would have shut me up half the time.
This little snoring pup.
Emrys,
Boring puppy. Stop.
Emrys is he's giving a lot of excuses for himself.
Mm.
I don't ascribe to the belief that there's only ever two options
Must be
out of
more
a situation.
Right.
And he seems like the kind of guy who believes that there's only ever two options.
Possibly.
I do what you tell me to do, or I do what I want to do, and that's the only two options to resolve a situation.
It doesn't jive with you.
If I hadn't have released the plague in Karadim, somebody else would have. I had to do it, or somebody else would have. What if you destroyed the ability to raise all those dead? What if you cast Hallow
If you
in the
would
catacombs?
allow me to play devil's advocate, Emrys would be one of the people who would respond with, "It was going to happen sooner or later. Whether it happened sooner or later, it was going to happen."
You say,
But again, I don't say that. Emrys does.
that's what I mean. Emrys says that, but that's not the truth.
That's what he believes is the truth.
I understand. What I'm saying.
Then again, he also has far more intimate knowledge as to what
The conclave.
conclave is. And if the conclave is just as ambitious as they say, we all know firsthand how people and corporations and like the ambition of that. I mean, guys, big tobacco, for example, people do lawsuits constantly, and they win these lawsuits, but they're constantly deferred and blah blah blah, and they still have gobs and gobs of money, and they're still in charge.
Yep.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the world's way too complicated to say it's only A or B.
Right. Yeah.
But he is a believer of A or B.
Yeah, that's kind of the air that he gives off here.
Yeah.
It also seems like he's searching for another solution, but probably a little desperate in everything that's going on. Granted, there's a lot you don't know
He's
about
also-
the conclave.
He's also been raised by the conclave.
Mm.
So of course he sees that as
The one and only.
the one and only power in
Right.
the world.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just, especially with me not being able to take it seriously, I would have been such a snarky
Oh, shit.
counterpoint to everything he had said during that whole rant.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
He asked you to stay.
I was like straight up ready
Right.
for you guys to start fighting. I was like,
So was I.
okay, we're gonna cry today.
we did have some serious talks about that, and then but all of us even went, "No, this is not what this is designed to be. Let's only
Well,
do that if
I
we
didn't
need
design it any particular way. It was more like there were options, but there were also consequences.
Right.
Well,
Right, and
that's more what he's saying is like the consequences of that situation
we're too high.
were too high.
Yeah, it felt more like a talk moment than a
Yeah.
try and kill you moment.
I'm Emma Sarenbach, and welcome to my TED Talk.
3 families essentially worth of potential death,
Yeah.
plus outright turning who knows what against us.
Right, because essentially, in him possibly causing the death of your families, he doesn't lose anything.
Yeah.
He doesn't really lose anything from you doing that. He can just find another group other than Tortesi, which for him was an unexpected, he did not expect you to that to be part of the equation. So he was really trying to make this work.
But also, if we start defying him, now we know. We didn't know beforehand, but now we know. If we start defying him, the conclave's going to see us as enemies
Right.
instead of as
Right.
pawns.
You'll find two enemies.
We're now no longer pawns, we are enemies, and we'll
Right.
have who knows what coming after us.
We now know 2 members of the conclave. Well, technically 3, counting Emrys.
Right.
Yeah.
He wouldn't give me a full answer until I told him that he already tried to recruit me.
Right.
And I'm like, the only way this logically makes sense for them to do this to Karadim is to put a member of the conclave in charge.
Mm-hmm.
And with him,
Tracks with their mission statement.
and with him trying to recruit me, I'm like, okay, that's what he's trying to recruit me for.
Right.
Right.
Which again, why
What
the
is?
conclave
the
want you
conclave.
specifically?
What are they
Yeah.
trying to?
Four
Yeah,
was trying to recruit me.
Yeah, but for what? What do you think?
What do I think?
Yeah, no. I'm saying you saying, oh, that's what they were trying to recruit me
Well, to be under his purview to do what the conclave wants.
I think it's
The
something to do
conclave
with
agent
your-
under
But there's a
God.
big
security
thing- well,
floor.
Yeah, with meta knowledge and the different battles between the primordials, having someone a champion of Kosuth as a part of that is a big deal.
Yeah. But I mean, he was asking you about your god during that time anyway.
Yes.
So that
So
I mean,
he
it's,
knew
yeah.
that I was a champion of Kosuth before he asked me.
Yeah.
So there's that aspect of things.
There's also the
Granted,
possibility.
it wasn't really. There were a lot of clues, like the whole he.
Her lining.
Well, like he didn't like.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm not gonna spoil anything, but you like essentially set someone on fire, but you didn't. Other things there were a lot of other clues.
like
There
I
were
said,
some
a
hints
prayer.
here or there. He straight up asked you like, "Okay, this is odd. What's going on? Who are you? Interesting. You should join me." But yeah,
We're talking about like meta. I think there's a tie into the primordials in general
Yeah.
with the conclave.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think they want their power somehow.
Okay. Good to know.
Well, it seems like they're trying to, for a lack of a better word, reboot the magic in the world to try to bring back all the old powers. And so that would include the primordials, the original power.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what you'd have to start with. You have to start at the beginning.
did we ever talk about the Dawn War? Not really. Right?
Not
really.
here.
Cool. I'll shut my mouth.
Yep. But
When did we talk about that? Was that in the previous campaign?
no, that was in Baker's Dozen.
Baker's Dozen.
Yeah.
Baker's Dozen found out.
Yep. And previous campaign.
How's Log feeling now?
Much better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys lucked out finding somebody who was able to do these things. Granted, it did cost a pretty penny, but you know.
Either that or wait for the heart to refresh again, which took us a month.
Yeah.
The month in game,
Right.
like we
Yeah.
used it January of
Yeah.
this year, so it's been
3 months.
3 months
Yeah.
since the last time we rolled it
Yep.
to
It's
do
a
it.
very powerful spell.
It is.
It makes and it pretty much gives it to you for free, so
Right.
it makes sense that it would take so long.
Yeah. But both times it was just in the nick of time.
450, 450 gold worth of resources.
Yeah.
That hurts.
All
right.
Now we got to do it again tomorrow.
Now you don't have to be crazy.
Yeah.
900 to cure both of us. Yeah.
But that was, I mean, that was insane. Like, we needed you back. You were not.
You're relying on me to be reason.
Yeah.
The person who can't put out fire.
Yeah.
Never expect Log and I to be the voice of reason.
Right. Which had to do since Zemdak wasn't.
Right.
You and I are the voice of fun.
Well, I mean, we had to have that chat with Emerson. Like, I feel like I have to take more of a lead. He's in my house.
Yeah. I mean, it worked out though. You guys did a good job with at least talking to him and finding out more information. So,
Yeah.
I wish I got the better insight when I turned into Tortesi and whatever his reaction was.
Right.
Instead of the 2 or whatever it was I rolled.
Right, yeah. He did say several times, "You have my
Mess with
love."
Yeah.
I want him back. Please.
I mean, so it's
Which
definitely a
we
major.
were already suspecting that though,
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
We were not planning on doing
In the
that.
notes.
Definitely a bargaining chip that we have on our side, but that's only against him, not necessarily against the rest of the conclave.
It
Right.
might be too. They did have him stored somewhere.
Well, the only bargaining chip would be against Emrys for them to keep,
to do something. For,
because we have Tortesi, maybe Emrys doesn't have as much leverage, like the Conclave doesn't have as much leverage over Emrys.
Right. Could be.
Because we have what he actually wants.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
He thought he was dead. So
Finish your thoughts, because I'm sure once
Granted, Emrys is almost handing you leverage on the Conclave too, or a way to weaken the Conclave possibly as well with these jobs.
If we're successful.
If you're
Right.
successful.
what are we supposed to? What is he telling us we're supposed to?
We're
do?
supposed to
go and prevent the person that I think your brother is
Stoneworm
trying to
clan.
put in charge of the Stoneworm.
What does the conclave think we're supposed to be doing?
that's
That's the job that the Conclave gave us.
And
No.
that's more of like leave that. That's more of Emrys. Leave that to me.
He'll handle that
I'll handle
side
the
of-
optics. You just
Yeah.
get the job done.
He'll handle what they're wanting us to do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Depending on the
Which is
outcome,
not-
he'll tell them what he told us.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Because
They'll cover it
most
for us.
likely the Conclave doesn't view you as thinking individuals. They view you as ants and soldiers going off and doing a job. So whatever you do is whatever you were told to do. And Emrys can handle the optics.
And I don't know if the Smooth Hand faction is actually the bad faction.
Right.
Because it could be they didn't expect anyone to ever find one of these
Right.
figures. So whoever is working with the Loth faction is actually who is supposed to end up in charge.
I mean, if we want to hide that thing forever, Log knows exactly where to go.
no.
I let him take it away though, so it's already gone
Well, for now.
for now.
But if we're traveling again with him,
Right.
it's midnight snack.
I love the idea that Log just eats every statue that comes across. He's just like, hey,
We can't risk it. We can't risk it. We just gotta.
Well, I mean, if we can find you like a pretty one, maybe that'll get you those
Rather
charisma
have it.
score increases.
Rather
you
have
eat it
it
like a statue, a blessed statue of Palor, and you're like, welcome, I am the sun's light. And you just turn into this pretty little princess.
So I have to ask: am I the only one thinking that Tortesi may have had himself killed and put there by the Conclave with his support, just for some plans too? That's one of the
You'll
things that's
never know. Well, you might know.
Might eventually.
at some point we'll know something.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that's the one thing that I'm like. That's the one thing that I'm really thinking of is that he did this in conjunction with the Conclave to control Emrys, and
We
we're
don't
just
know his
playing
motives.
right into their hands.
So like
Maybe-
a triple agent.
yeah.
No, just he got Emrys to fall in love with him, and then he let them kill him and put him in stasis to be resurrected later.
Either that or he let them
And
kill him
Knowing
to
that the
save
Conclave,
Emrys.
knowing that Emrys might betray them, it's like a trap.
Knowing that they could now use Emrys relentlessly by holding him over his head.
And it's very possible that maybe he had something going on that didn't tell Emrys about, that the higher ups in the Conclave knew about, and were using.
He might have been the
this.
honeypot for Emrys, essentially.
Yeah.
So why hide it?
So that Emrys didn't have a chance to figure out.
Because Emrys,
The
that's
truth?
how, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Possibly. I'm not telling you.
That's also the point of me that goes, why kill him and hide him too if you're trying to control Emrys? Because
I mean-
that doesn't seem like that would be a good thing. Disappearing them and like
However, if you're trying to manipulate
Yeah.
somebody that is a master manipulator, you got to be one step ahead of them.
It could also It could also have been this person is making you weak. This is a
Right.
point of weakness that can be used against you. We're going to take it away from you.
True.
So it could go either way, but
Plans within plans within plans, like, and seeing the dominoes fall. It's interesting now that you're on like the inside of realizing that there is a far greater conspiracy of things going on.
Well, we suspected a while ago.
You did suspect a while ago that he was grooming you, and yet, in fact, he was grooming you.
But we did have that talk of he was just looking for a power. That was the other thing we suspected is that he was only looking for a powerful group. The fact that it was us
capable.
specifically
Yeah.
Coincidental.
was coincidental.
Yeah, guys, you weren't the chosen ones. You just happened to be survivors.
we were the ones
A lot
at the
of
right
times
place
that,
at the
the way
right.
that happens.
Yep. Yep.
Made it through that
Too often
gauntlet.
in life happens that way. And so now that you're on the inside partially of this conspiracy, it's up to you guys of
We're
whether
not
you
on the inside.
want to find out more.
We're still pawns.
What
Completely.
of what it means, what this conclave is, who they are, what their means are, possibly what pots they have their hands in, where they originate from. Like there's a bunch of more stuff now for you to go and research and find out, see if you can even. As we move up the Razor Fair agreement.
It still makes me happy to have that confirmation that she is part of the conclave, that I use my DM inspiration to save our names from getting
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
yeah.
Imagine if Lady Masha Ehrenbach herself knew exactly who you were and had a bit of an inkling as to, wait, why are you trying to stop my endeavors?
Right.
I don't know that she's completely ignorant to who we are.
No, but she would have had
Personal.
it would have been
reason.
a tip off of, wait, why are these people
They're
with
not
these
doing
names-
exactly what
they're not doing
want
exactly
us.
what they've been told.
Yeah.
Why? Because that's all it takes, is the seed of suspicion.
Right. But there's
What's
also
my
that.
son really up to?
There's
Right.
also
Exactly.
that whole thing of it could have also helped us with this subterfuge that Emerus is trying to do with them and everything like that too. Just because at that time we hated him. We hadn't been approached to be kind of useful tools of theirs or anything like that
Right,
yet.
and he had actually mentioned that that's expected. The whole facade is that you're supposed to be blackmailed and forced into whatever he's doing, rather than even though that is the truth, which is great because it is technically the truth. It is still the truth, which means that even by magical means, if something were to happen or truth be revealed, like he took a lot of steps to plan this away so that it could still be the truth and still not arouse suspicion. Like you still would not lie by still being on his side ish. You know,
Because you could literally
That's
go,
why we went drinking, because my sister had to work.
Right.
it's one of those things of like they could ask him point blank, "Did you take their families hostage to use it?"
and he
to
could be like,
blackmail
"Yes,
them?" Yes.
yes, it did. Yes, it did."
In his own of truth, he could get away with that kind of thing.
Exactly, and the same thing with you. If you were ever interrogated, they could be like, "Did he blackmail your families? Are you working with him?" And you can be like, "Only to save my families,"
Yeah.
Right.
and that would be the truth.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, this guy, Emerson, is no dummy. He
No.
he knows what he needed. He knows that he actually needed to make you hate him and do really horrible things in order for this to work.
I was really curious that he was actually open to me reviving Tortesi,
Yeah.
because of the way that we read the notes and how much he was really gung ho on making him immortal. That I was like, huh. So you'd rather just have him back? Okay.
Well,
You still
if
want
you
some-
think he's not going to be involved in the resurrection, I mean, he's absolutely going to attempt to make him immortal by any means
I
necessary.
mean, and
But
even
I
if you
think-
resurrect him, he could then still turn him into
Right.
whatever
Right, but
he
then-
ends up.
he has no
Big
means.
cassette.
He's a necromancer.
Yeah.
He can bring people back from the dead, kind of, but he's working on doing what you can do. He can't do what you
His
can.
old
Yeah.
Revenant experiment. If you bring Tortesi back, he can then do that on.
But then he would have. But that
he-
experiment worked. But
You'd have
he
to
doesn't want to make tortillas.
No. I just
Yeah.
mean like when he
Which
gets
is-
to the end of his research. If he
Right.
gets to the end of his research,
Right. Which is why he's not done.
he can use that on a live subject. So if you bring him back and he's
And you
just
straight up offered too. I mean, like he's like, I'm not going to look a gift
Living
horse in the
dude.
mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to bring him back.
Yeah. I was more playing at the, like, where are you, like, are you trying to make him, something more on the dark side versus just back alive again?
Right.
That you don't know. It's from what you can tell, which is very little. The driving forces. I want him back, and I want him to live forever, so the conclave can't harm him.
Would still be interesting to talk to Tortesi in
Is the
general.
other part of me that makes me wonder if this isn't plans within plans within plans.
My
Oh,
bigger
it's-
question is, at what cost would he do?
You've seen what cost he'll do.
No, but I meant, would he sacrifice himself to revive Tortesi?
He said to you point blank that he'd be willing to fight you to the death if it needs to. He'd be willing to give you the revenge that you need at the end of it, as long as Tortesi would be alive. He said to you point blank that he would do because he knows that what he has done is punishable and needs to be punished if it needs to be. He understands that.
There's a small part of me that wonders if the goal of the conclave, unbeknownst to Emerus, is to make Tortesi immortal. As potentially he is a leader behind the scenes
Could
of
be.
the conclave.
Could be. They saw Emerson's brilliance.
Stop telling TJ new ideas.
It's over her smiling.
Sure,
Ah,
Mr.
yes.
I like how he tells me not to give you more story ideas, but he's the one who's feeding you all these like extra monsters all the time. Like, oh, you can use this to murder us.
Yeah.
I only did that like twice.
Granted, I love working that 3D printer. It's a lot of fun. Been giving it a workout. Yeah. I think that's all the time we have then, guys.
Awesome.
Thank you for sticking with us on the Burnt Ends. We'll see you next time. We have an Argent Flame or a Baker's Dozen episode. So stay tuned. Subscribe to our YouTube, like, and all that jazz. And last but not least, stay safe out there. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.